sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa akin. Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban ko sa Mubadala, Abu Dhabi.
Reports claim that Joan Bosch, the coach of Eala, formally filed a complaint with the WTA requesting an urgent doping test for Teresa Valentova following what many described as a deeply controversial match. In the aftermath of the incident at the Qatar Open in Doha, held at the Khalifa International Tennis Complex, the situation escalated quickly. Allegations of unfair play and misconduct began circulating, with supporters insisting that Eala had been wronged. The controversy reportedly led to official scrutiny and disciplinary action connected to the tournament, intensifying the spotlight on the players involved and sending shockwaves through the women's tennis community. What initially appeared to be just another disputed moment in a high-stakes match soon grew into something much larger. This was not simply about a questionable line call or a tense tiebreak decision. It became a story that many fans believed carried serious implications for the integrity of the sport. The atmosphere surrounding the event shifted dramatically as discussions spread across social media and tennis forums, with supporters demanding transparency and accountability. As details continued to emerge from Doha, the incident quickly became one of the most talked about controversies in recent women's tennis, leaving fans stunned and eager for clear answers from the WTA and tournament officials. Here is the headline that many feared would eventually surface. The Qatar Open Tournament Committee, working in cooperation with WTA integrity officers, has reportedly issued an official statement declaring that Czech teenager Teresa Valentova has been retroactively disqualified from the 2026 Qatar Open and provisionally suspended from all WTA-sanctioned activities pending a full disciplinary hearing. According to the announcement, the action stems from verified allegations of cheating, integrity violations, and unauthorized real-time external assistance during her round of 64 match against Filipino standout Eala. With that decision, the verdict appears to have been delivered and the consequences set in motion, sending shockwaves throughout the tennis world. What began as suspicion surrounding a single match in Doha has now evolved into a full-scale controversy with serious implications for everyone involved. The focus has shifted to what exactly unfolded on the court, what the investigation uncovered, and how the official statement frames the violations. The ruling not only impacts Valentova's immediate future and reputation but also raises significant questions about competitive integrity and enforcement standards within the sport. For Eala, the outcome could reshape the narrative around that match and potentially influence her path moving forward. As the tennis community processes the fallout, the scandal stands as a stark reminder of how quickly events on the court can transform into defining moments for careers and for the sport itself. I promise you, the final chapter of this story may prove to be the most impactful. For those just joining, the build-up to this controversy traces back to tournament week in Doha. The Qatar Open is far from an ordinary stop on tour. It is a WTA 1000 event, one of the most prestigious tournaments on the women's calendar. Hosted at the Khalifa International Tennis Complex, it consistently attracts the biggest names in the sport and carries enormous competitive weight. When controversy erupts at an event of this stature, it does not quietly fade away. It becomes part of the sport's ongoing history. Coming into the tournament, Eala had much to prove. The 20-year-old Filipino standout has been steadily carving out her place in women's tennis, developing her game with discipline and purpose. A graduate of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, founded by Rafael Nadal, she has built a reputation as one of the most technically polished young players on tour. Her explosive serve, crisp backhand, and mature on-court composure have drawn praise from analysts and fans alike. Supporters from the Philippines, among the most passionate in global tennis, were watching Doha closely, eager to see her make a strong statement on such a significant stage. On paper, her opening round matchup appeared competitive but manageable. Across the net stood fellow 20-year-old Teresa Valentova of the Czech Republic, a talented prospect and former junior champion at Roland Garros with a rapidly rising profile. It had all the ingredients of a compelling clash between two emerging stars until events surrounding the match shifted the spotlight from athletic performance to controversy, setting the stage for everything that followed. At the time, the matchup looked like a perfect showcase of two rising stars climbing the WTA rankings. It was expected to be a statement-making clash between two of the sport's most exciting young players. Instead, it reportedly became the flashpoint for what many are calling one of the most serious integrity controversies the WTA has faced in years. The match itself began exactly as fans had hoped. From the opening rally, both players were locked in. Eala dictated from the baseline, using her heavy topspin forehand to push Teresa Valentova deep behind the court and control the tempo. Valentova responded with flat, penetrating ground strokes, attempting to rush Eala and deny her any rhythm. Game for game, point for point, it delivered the intensity expected from a WTA 1000 first-round battle at the Qatar Total Energies Open. The first set surged toward a tiebreak at 6 games all, with the atmosphere inside the Khalifa International Tennis Complex buzzing with anticipation. At the time, what happened next seemed like nerves, momentum swings, or high-level tactical adjustments. But in hindsight, observers began questioning whether something more unusual was unfolding. During the tiebreak, at the most pressure-filled moments, Eala appeared to sense that something was not quite right. She continued deploying the same successful patterns, varying serve placements, changing rally sequences, adjusting approach shots. Yet Valentova seemed to anticipate them instantly. Not after a few points of recalibration, but immediately. Serves that were carefully disguised were met with confident returns. Tactical shifts were countered without hesitation. To some watching closely, it felt almost as if Valentova had advanced insight into Eala's game plan. The tiebreak ultimately went in Valentova's favor, stunning portions of the crowd and Eala's vocal supporters in attendance. What initially looked like a sharp competitive edge would later become a central focus of scrutiny as investigations unfolded. Inside the Khalifa International Tennis Complex, however, there were reportedly officials and integrity personnel paying very close attention. What looked like a straightforward momentum shift on the surface began raising quiet questions behind the scenes. The second set is where the match appeared to unravel for Eala. After losing the tight tiebreak, she seemed mentally shaken, understandably so, in a situation where carefully prepared tactics no longer seemed effective. Valentova surged ahead and closed out the set 6-1. On paper, it resembled a sudden collapse. In the days that followed, commentary across social media was harsh. Critics questioned Eala's stamina, her composure, and her ability to handle pressure on a major stage. Those narratives spread quickly, despite the fact that no formal findings had yet been made public. According to reports, Eala's camp did not focus solely on the scoreline. They reviewed match footage, patterns of play, and statistical data. Within hours of the match's conclusion at the Qatar Total Energies Open, a formal complaint was reportedly submitted to tournament officials. The concerns centered on what they believed were irregular patterns, particularly Valentova's unusually precise anticipation of serve placement and tactical shifts. Observers also pointed to the timing of certain moments during changeovers that they felt warranted closer review. These claims were considered serious enough to prompt an investigation by the WTA's Integrity Unit. What followed, according to various reports, was described as a comprehensive review process. Beyond standard video analysis, investigators allegedly examined detailed match statistics, on-court audio where available, surveillance footage of player areas, and other relevant materials permitted under tournament regulations. The scope of the review reflected the seriousness of the allegations being discussed. Central to the claims were suggestions of unauthorized real-time data access during the match, an accusation that, if proven, would represent a significant breach of competitive integrity. It is important to note that such allegations require thorough due process and formal confirmation through official channels. At this stage, the broader tennis community continues to await clear, verified statements from governing bodies regarding the findings and any resulting disciplinary actions. The allegations go far beyond the kind of subtle hand signals or brief tactical cues that have become part of the evolving conversation around on-court coaching in professional tennis. Since the WTA permitted limited coaching from the stands, certain gray areas have existed. But what investigators reportedly examined here was described as something categorically different. According to reports circulating within tennis media, the inquiry explored the possibility that Teresa Valentova may have gained access, through channels that would violate WTA regulations, to real-time predictive analytics regarding Alex Eala's serve tendencies and tactical patterns. In simple terms, the allegation suggests that live data about Eala's patterns may have been relayed during the match itself, potentially providing an unfair competitive edge that no amount of legitimate preparation could replicate. If such claims were ever substantiated, the implications would be profound. At the professional level, tennis is built on disguise, anticipation, and split-second decision-making. Players spend years refining their ball toss to conceal serve direction, constructing layered rally patterns to keep opponents uncertain, and mastering subtle variations that prevent predictability. The entire competitive framework depends on uncertainty. Any unauthorized real-time disclosure of tactical information would fundamentally undermine that balance. Observers also reportedly noted certain equipment-related details during the match that drew attention during the review process, though official findings have not publicly confirmed the significance of those observations. As with any integrity investigation, conclusions must rely on verified evidence and due process rather than speculation. For now, the situation remains one that the tennis community continues to watch closely, awaiting transparent and definitive communication from official governing bodies. Observers noted that investigators reportedly examined the timing of certain on-court behaviors, including how frequently Teresa Valentova adjusted her wristband or racket dampener during high-pressure moments, such as break points and deciding games. On their own, such actions can be completely routine and meaningless. However, when analysts layer behavioral timing against detailed match data, patterns can sometimes raise questions that warrant closer scrutiny. It is important to stress that patterns alone do not equal proof. They simply form part of a broader investigative picture. According to reports, when the Qatar TotalEnergies Open Tournament Committee issued its official statement, the language was firm and direct. The statement indicated that, following a comprehensive review of match data, video footage, and other relevant materials from the round of 64 match between Alex Eala and Teresa Valentova, serious violations of the code of conduct had been identified. The wording reportedly emphasized serious violations, signaling that the committee viewed the findings as substantial rather than procedural or minor. The statement further asserted that investigators found evidence of unauthorized external assistance and unsportsmanlike conduct that compromised the competitive fairness of the match. Such phrasing suggests that officials believed the integrity of the contest had been affected in a meaningful way. As a result, the committee announced Valentova's retroactive disqualification from the 2026 edition of the tournament and imposed a provisional suspension from WTA-sanctioned activities pending a full disciplinary hearing. A retroactive disqualification combined with an immediate provisional suspension represents one of the most serious interim measures available in professional tennis short of a long-term ban. The committee concluded by reaffirming its commitment to integrity, fairness, and respect within the sport, underscoring that maintaining competitive trust remains central to the tournament's standards. As with any major disciplinary action, the case now rests on formal proceedings and due process, and the broader tennis community will look to the WTA for complete transparency as the situation moves forward. The committee concluded its statement by reaffirming that it will not tolerate actions that undermine the reputation of the tournament or the spirit of tennis, drawing a firm line on integrity and competitive fairness. With that declaration, attention quickly shifted to Alex Eala, the player at the center of the controversy and the one who, according to the ruling, was directly affected. It is worth recognizing the weight Eala has carried throughout her young career. From her early days training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, founded by Rafael Nadal, she has competed under intense scrutiny. Every ranking shift has been dissected, every defeat amplified, and every victory measured against future expectations. As one of the Philippines' brightest sporting figures, she competes not only for herself but also under the gaze of a passionate national fan base that follows her journey closely. After the match in Doha at the Qatar Open, Eala handled her post-match press conference with composure. She did not publicly accuse her opponent or speculate about wrongdoing. Instead, she offered a measured assessment of her own performance and maintained professionalism in front of cameras and reporters. Reports suggest that, behind the scenes, her team had already raised concerns and initiated formal channels of review. As the disciplinary process unfolds, the broader implications for Eala's career remain significant. Official adjustments, if any, regarding rankings, prize money, or records would depend on the governing body's final determinations. What many observers emphasize, however, is the importance of transparency and due process in preserving trust in the sport. The tennis community's response has been notable, with many fans voicing support for Eala and calling for clarity from officials. In moments like this, beyond wins and losses, the focus shifts to fairness, accountability, and the integrity that underpins professional competition. In the days following the announcement, support for Alex Eala continued to grow. Fans from the Philippines, widely recognized for their passionate and engaged tennis discourse, voiced strong, articulate backing across social media and sports forums. Several analysts who had initially criticized her Doha performance publicly reassessed their commentary in light of the official findings. A number of commentators emphasized that if the committee's conclusions stand, the integrity implications would be serious not just for one match, but for the credibility of elite-level competition at a WTA 1000 event like the Qatar Open. By contrast, reports indicate that Teresa Valentova's camp had not issued a detailed public response at the time those reactions were unfolding. In high-profile disciplinary cases, silence can quickly shape public perception, though it is equally common for athletes to refrain from comment while legal proceedings are ongoing. Formal hearings and appeals processes often limit what can be said publicly. Beyond the immediate case, broader questions have surfaced within the tennis community. Some insiders have suggested that if unauthorized real-time data access were indeed confirmed, it could signal vulnerabilities in how modern performance analytics are regulated during competition. Advanced statistical tracking is now deeply embedded in professional tennis preparation. Serve tendencies, rally patterns, pressure point percentages, and more are meticulously analyzed before matches. Used within the rules, such data enhances preparation and elevates the sport. Accessed improperly during live play, however, it would represent a fundamental breach of competitive fairness. This situation has therefore sparked a wider institutional conversation for the WTA. Tennis authorities have long confronted issues such as doping violations and match-fixing investigations, but alleged real-time technological assistance, if substantiated, would represent a different category of integrity challenge. It raises complex regulatory and enforcement questions about how the sport safeguards fair competition in an increasingly data-driven era. As for what happens next, that depends on formal disciplinary proceedings. Provisional suspensions are typically followed by hearings in which evidence is reviewed and the athlete has an opportunity to respond. Potential outcomes could range from sanctions of varying lengths to possible appeals, depending on the final determinations. It is also worth clarifying one point mentioned earlier. Allegations related to doping tests or additional complaints would require separate verification and official confirmation from governing bodies before being treated as established fact. In high-stakes cases like this, due process and documented rulings, not speculation, ultimately determine both accountability and legacy. For now, the tennis world waits for the next chapter, aware that the outcome could influence not only the careers involved but also how the sport approaches integrity in the modern era.
Alex, after a terrific year last year, how does it feel to be making your main draw debut in Melbourne?
It feels great. I'm super excited, coming in. Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban ko sa Mubadala Abu